Right around New Year's of 2014, our sending church, Compass Bible Church, Aliso Viejo, announced that they were going to be planting a church in Huntington Beach, California. What I don't think anybody realized that day was how that announcement would plant seeds that eventually would lead to them planting a church in Idaho. Our sending church was a fairly large and dynamic church. It was doing a great job of reaching its community. People were getting saved. The Bible was being taught. It was dynamic in a way I hadn't really experienced in a church, and in a world where a lot of people said, well, you can either grow a church or you can teach the Bible. The philosophy there was, we're going to grow a church by teaching the Bible. My oldest brother started working there in 2006. And so I just started helping out more, mostly in the student ministry at Compass Aliso. And that led to me going to work there when I graduated college in 2009. From day one, there had been this talk about planting churches. My brother, Bobby, was clearly the guy that was going to go and do that. And I think we all took a step forward in faith saying, we're gonna do this. We haven't done this before, but we're gonna step out in faith and plant another church in Huntington Beach. It was exciting, but it was also a little daunting. Part of him being sent out was I was going to step up and take over the college ministry.
My wife and I, we started going to Compass Aliso in 2013. And at that time, I was pretty young in my faith. We showed up and saw what was going on, a high view of God, all of the distinctives really in play, and people growing. We wanted to get plugged in and start serving. I reached out and got a lunch meeting with Bobby Blakey. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go meet with Bobby. He's this dynamic leader. I'm gonna get to serve with this guy. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I show up to lunch and he goes, well, I'm going to plant a church, but you should call my brother Ben.
My brother had taken a good chunk of the leaders in the ministry with him, but there were several families that jumped in along with the Matzes as well in that season that were a part of Compass Treasure Valley from day one. People like Brett and Kendra Howard, Hoyt and Tiffany McMillan, Cody and Kate Davidson. Even the first wedding I think I did for someone from that ministry was Holden and Emily Ralston. A year or two after that, it was clear that I was in the on-deck circle. For years, Holly and I had talked about when we plant, it would be cool to go to a growing area. And when we had finally come to Boise and checked it out, we realized God is putting this hypothetical we've talked about for years right in front of us. One thing that was encouraging in that season of stepping into the unknown of being sent out to plant was we weren't going to be doing this alone. Even several of these families that we had been serving with, now we were talking about, let's go plant a church together. One of the things that gives me the most peace about this whole effort to plant a new church now at South Valley is it really feels driven by a need. We have experienced so much growth in this valley. We've experienced so much growth at our church that we're convinced there is a need not just for our church to keep growing, but for there to be more churches.
The hardest thing about sending out a church is the relationships. You're saying see you later because we're going to divide and conquer for the kingdom.
Sending out people like the Smiths, it hurts to see these people that have served so well and made such a difference here. We're going to feel the loss because we're doing this to genuinely meet a need. It just gives me great confidence that God's going to provide. We're doing this for His glory. He's going to give us what we need when we need it.
5 years from now, I hope we see God doing even greater things in Compass Bible Church South Valley.
And I do get excited to think of going there several years from now and looking at all the people that I don't know, people that their lives have been transformed because of this church.
Something that was seemingly a problem has been continually a provision from the Lord. There was a problem of a lack of leaders. There was a problem of difficulty with taking over ministries and a problem of finding a new place to serve in the church. And they became a provision because God was providentially working through all of those things.
The local church is the most important institution in the world. So once upon a time, our sending church launched out Compass Huntington Beach, and 10 years later, there was a thriving church there. But also, 10 years later, there had already been a thriving church here that I don't think anybody saw that day. So I want to see a thriving church in South Valley, but then what's the other thing that we don't even know? That God's going to use the seed sown through this sacrifice to bear fruit in ways that we can't even anticipate.